Every creative project runs into the same unavoidable moment, the who's paying for this thing moment. This is where a lot of good projects slow down or just flat out disappear. And not because the idea is weak, but the financial path forward is unclear or just too uncomfortable to really navigate. There are many options to consider, but today we'll be talking about self-funding and crowdfunding. These are two very different financial strategies, each with their own risks, benefits, and pressures. The choice affects your cash flow, your stress level, and how much room you have to recover if something goes wrong. Hi, they call me Pi, and I'm working on an indie card game called Your Class Rep, and this decision has shaped my project more than anything else. In this video, I want to break down self-funding versus crowdfunding by looking directly at the money side of the equation. Let's get into it. Self-funding means you are personally covering the cost of bringing your project to life, and that puts you in a position of both creator and investor. Every expense comes out of your own pocket, and trust me, your pockets feel that reality very quickly. The upside, though, is you control how much money is at risk and when it's spent. You can start small, spending gradually, and stop if the numbers don't make sense. The trade-off is growth is tied directly to your available cash, and any losses are yours to absorb. Here, let's dive a little deeper into the advantages and disadvantages. You control cash flow. You decide when money goes out and how much is spent at each step and which parts of the project move forward first. This makes it easier to adjust plans, delay upgrades, or test ideas in small batches without committing to a full production run. Losses are capped by your choices. Because you control scale, you can control how much money you lose. A small print run, limited tooling, or manual production keeps mistakes survivable and turns early failures into learning experiences instead of complete disasters. Revenue belongs entirely to you. There are no platform fees, no revenue splits, no outside obligations. Every dollar earned can go directly towards covering costs, improving the product, or funding the next step. Your personal money is exposed. If the project underperforms or fails, the financial hit lands on you alone. This can add stress and limit how aggressively you're willing to experiment. Growth is limited by your budget. Even if demand exists, expansion can only happen as fast as your personal finances allow. Large opportunities may need to be delayed or be passed up altogether. Cash flow can be uneven. Costs are often paid up front while revenue comes later. This can be a strain on personal finances and make planning more difficult. Crowdfunding shifts the financial burden away from a single person and spreads it across a group of supporters. Instead of paying for everything up front yourself, you receive money before the product is completed. This can significantly reduce the personal financial strain. At the same time, that money comes with responsibility. Budgets, timelines, and expectations are set early, often before all the unknowns are accounted for or even visible. Crowdfunding can unlock scale and momentum, but it also reduces flexibility and increases pressure to deliver exactly what's been promised. Access to upfront capital. Funding arrives before production begins, which can make large runs, better materials, or professional services possible from day one. Shared financial risk. No single person is carrying the full cost of the project up front. While responsibility remains with the creator, the initial financial burden is distributed across many people. Clear demand signal. Backers are committing real money, not just interest. That confirmation can justify higher production volumes and more confident planning. Budgeting at scale. With a known funding total, you can plan production, shipping, and fulfillment more precisely than with a rolling self-funded revenue model. All or nothing pressure. If the funding goal is not met, the campaign produces no money, even after significant time and effort. Platform and processing fees. A noticeable percentage of funds is lost to fees, which reduces margins and must be accounted for early. Costs are locked early. Once promises are made, rising material, shipping, or labor costs come directly out of your margin. Financial responsibility remains. Even though the money comes from backers, the obligation to deliver does not change. Budgeting mistakes still fall on you. There's no universally correct funding path. The right choice depends less on what worked for someone else and more on how you personally handle risk, pressure, and uncertainty. Before committing to self-funding, crowdfunding, or even a hybrid approach, it helps to slow down and take an honest look at how you operate as a creator. Start by asking yourself a few uncomfortable questions. How much personal money can you realistically afford to lose? Not the optimistic number, but the one that would not damage your financial stability or peace of mind. Creative projects often cost more and take longer than planned. If losing that money would make you resent the project or rush decisions, that path might be the right one for you. Do you prefer slow, controlled spending or large, structured commitments? Some creators thrive when they make small decisions over time and adjust as they learn. Others work better when the scope, budget, and timeline are locked and external commitment forces momentum. Neither is better, but they lead to very different funding experiences. Are you comfortable estimating costs far in advance? Crowdfunding requires you to price manufacturing, shipping, and fulfillment months before anything else. If uncertainty makes you anxious or leads to constant second guessing, that pressure, it can become exhausting. If planning ahead gives you clarity and focus, it may feel empowering instead. Does public accountability motivate you or drain you? Having backers can create energy and excitement, but also adds visibility and expectations. Some creators do their best work when others are watching. Others feel constrained and stressed when the progress is in public. Knowing which camp you fall into matters more than advice from anyone else. Your answers are not about choosing the smartest option on paper. They're about choosing the path that lets you finish the project without burning out, panicking, or losing confidence. The best financial strategy is one that supports how you think, work, and handle risk, not the one that looks most impressive from the outside. Just a quick pause. If you enjoy thoughtful breakdowns like this and want to follow the real financial and creative journey behind your class rep, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm working towards monetization this year, and your support helps the project grow. Thanks, guys. Thankfully, this does not have to be an either-or decision. A hybrid approach lets you use each funding method for what it does best. You can start with crowdfunding to validate interest and fund the initial run, then reinvest profits through self-funding as you refine and expand the project. Or you can start by self-funding small releases to learn production costs, identify issues, and understand your audience. Once the numbers are clearer and confidence is higher, crowdfunding becomes a way to scale rather than a leap of faith. For your class rep, I'm choosing the second path. I'm self-funding early to test the game and tighten the experience. When I understand the real costs and real demand, Kickstarter becomes a tool for growth instead of a gamble. Self-funding and crowdfunding are not moral choices or creative identities. They're financial strategies with different risks. One prioritizes control and gradual growth. The other prioritizes capital and momentum. The best option is the one that lets you keep creating without putting yourself in a financial hole. If you have experience with either approach, I'd love to hear what you've learned. We all would. And if this video helped, check the companion piece I've worked on about DIY production versus manufacturing partners. As always, guys, God bless, be safe, and I'll see you next time.